Now, we need to give equal time to learn about Akka Mahadevi, who is another founding leader within the Virashaiva religion.
12-year-old Medha Nagaraj, who loves Bharatanatyam and tennis, will tell us all about the great Akka.
But Medha's passion is towards fashion. One day, she wants to be a fashion designer and have her own line of clothes. For now, she writes fashion articles on her blog. She has written on topics such as best colors for spring 2022, reviewing dresses of the people attending the Met Gala, checking out upcoming South Asian designers, and other interesting topics such as why Vogue is dead. Interesting, right? Check out her site at Medha Nagaraj 7.
I definitely want to check out Medha's blogs. Now, let us all sit back and listen to what she has to say about Akka Mahadevi.
In Uttatanti, in the Shivamoga district of Karnataka. The exact year of her birth is with some sources saying 1130 and others 1150. Her parents, Sumati and Nirmala Shetty, were devotees of Lord Shiva and followed the Shaivite sect of the Lingayats. They believed in the Trividhi philosophy that comprises of Shivalinga, Jangama, and Guru, i.e., to sacrifice one's life in service to society, aim for true knowledge, and give up on worldly happiness. She grew up in a very religious household and was initiated into bhakti at a young age. By the time she was 7, she was writing poetry and singing songs in praise of Lord Shiva. She called him Chanamanak Arjuna, which can be translated in many ways. The most famous translation is by A.K. Ramanujan, who interprets it as, Lord, white as jasmine. Chana means beautiful, Malaka is jasmine, and Arjuna means bright or white. As she got older, she stopped talking to her friends, to her family, and the people around her to get closer to Shiva. Instead, she would communicate with animals, flowers, and the rest of nature. At 16, she was very beautiful. Other girls dreamed of groom prospects, but Mahadevi decided that she would marry Lord Shiva. One of her poems read, More and more I am in love with my husband, known by the name of Chanamanak Arjuna. Take these husbands who die in decay and feed them to your kitchen fires. This is an example of Madhura Bhava or Kanta Bhava, the highest form of bhakti. This type of bhakti is taking the Lord as their lover. Despite saying that Chanamanak Arjuna was her husband, her beauty caught the eye of King Kaushika. According to the sources, one day he saw her in deep devotion and immediately proposed. Kaushika was the Jain ruler of the region and had a lot of power. At this point, the texts are diverged. Some say that the marriage never took place because she refused, and others say that it did take place because Kaushika threatened to hurt her parents and her guru. Mahadevi agreed to marry Kaushika on 3 conditions. 1, he would not get in the way of her practice. 2, she should be allowed to continue in service of the Jangams. And 3, he would not touch her without her permission. Jangams were the wandering monks of the Shaivite sect. He agreed and they got married. He thought that after the taste of the luxurious life in the palace, she would forget all the terms. A couple years went by and he finally realized that she was dead set about them. He violated the conditions and Mahadevi threatened to leave. Kaushika then responded by saying that everything she owned was given by him anyways, so she stripped off all her clothes and left the village naked. The only thing that was covering her body was her long hair. Afterwards, she wandered from temple to temple. Eventually, she traveled on foot to Anubhav Mandap in Kalyana, a district presided over by Anubhav Prabhu. Anubhav Prabhu was another mystic saint poet. Anubhav Mandap, or abode of experience, was where worshippers of Shiva came to discuss spiritual and philosophical topics. She was met with much skepticism as a young, naked woman away from her husband. The others interrogated her to see if she was truly devoted to Shiva. One of Anubhav Prabhu's questions was if she rejected clothing as a rebellion against social normalities. Why did she cover herself with hair? It was normal for saints to strip off their clothing to show devotion, but women had to be fully clothed. Mahadevi, not fazed, responded saying that other people would be embarrassed seeing her naked as she traveled, so she decided to be partially covered. She answered all their questions and spoke about her beliefs and ideals. Eventually, she was let into the group after meticulous discourse. The respect she had earned was hard-earned. People like Alama Prabhu, Siddharama, and Basava called her Akka, partially of respect and partially of affection. She continued to write and improve her vachanas as Anubhav Manda. After her time at Anubhav Manda, she entered her third and final stage of her life. Akka Mahadevi journeyed to learn the Sri Sharda temple in Andhra Pradesh. She lived the rest of her life wandering and living in caves, completing the process of enlightenment and attaining Mahasamadhi. Mahasamadhi means divine union with the Lord. She died in her mid-20s. Legends say that she was consumed in a flash of light, only leaving her vachanas to tell her story. In the 12th century, there were power struggles and fights breaking out. In this time of political uncertainty, Akka Mahadevi chose spiritual enlightenment and stuck with it. She was a notable figure of female emancipation and is supposedly the first woman to write vachanas. Also, she rejected family life and worldly attachments, and chose the love of God instead of mortal love. She expressed her radical views on women's roles, Hindu ritualism, caste, and more. Akka Mahadevi was a mystic, seer, poet, saint, and social reformer, and her remarkable journey to enlightenment inspires all.
Wow, Medha. Wow, Medha, I love hearing about women who have succeeded in life. Medha did a great job, so let's give her another big round of applause.
Medha, I have a question to ask you. Would you rather be able to talk to animals or control the weather?
I would rather control the weather because I think that would be more fun, and you can, you can just control the weather. That would be fun.
What a great answer. Thanks, Medha.